Some workloads don't need to run constantly. They just need to run completely. Video rendering, financial transaction processing, scientific simulations, these are batch workloads. Lambda cannot handle them because Lambda has a 15-minute time limit. EC2 means managing infrastructure you don't always need them. AWS Batch was built for this exact use case. It is AWS's fully managed batch computing service. You submit the job, AWS provisions the right compute, runs it, and shuts it down. You pay only for what you use. In this module, we will cover AWS Batch and all the concepts you need to know to pass the AWS certification. AWS Batch is a common topic across foundational and associate certificates. You need a high-level understanding of AWS Batch and its use cases. Hello everyone, welcome to CloudExpert Solutions, your favorite YouTube channel for free, structured, exam-ready cloud education. Let's review the topics we will cover in this module. We'll start with what AWS Batch is and what problem it solves, the three core components, compute environment of AWS Batch and different job types, then AWS Batch cost optimization, which is an exam favorite, then three-way comparison between AWS Batch, Lambda and ECS. We will conclude this module with an exam style question, summaries and key takeaways. This module is common across multiple AWS certifications. Unlike other online courses, we just don't cover an AWS topic to pass the exam. We can help you to bridge the gap between passing an exam and applying the concept for your real-life use cases. In addition to that, with CloudExpert Solutions, you're learning it precisely the way AWS will test you. Every topic, every domain, no guesswork. Let's get started with AWS Batch. Let's start with the problem statement that AWS Batch solves, and let's make this concrete with a real example. A pharmaceutical company needs to run drug interaction analysis on 5,000 molecular component combinations. Each analysis takes 3 minutes of compute time. You have different options. Option 1 is running these jobs sequentially on a single EC2 instance. Then you have 500,000 jobs, each with 3 minutes would take over 1,000 days. It will be way too slow and obviously not a viable option. Alternatively, you can run sequentially on a pool of 1,000 EC2 instances, which will take almost 25 hours. You need to manually provision all the 1,000 EC2 instances, build a custom job scheduling logic, handle failed jobs and retries, monitor job distributions and terminate all the instances when the analysis completes, or keep paying for idle capacity. And you repeat all of that operational overhead every time when you run that analysis. This is the problem of batch computing. AWS Batch solves this completely. You define what to run and submit your job to a queue, and Batch handles provisioning the compute, scheduling the jobs, retrying failure. Jobs run in parallel across managed compute fleet. Your compute fleet terminates automatically when the job complete, and you pay only for the compute time actually used. No infrastructure to manage, no idle compute, no scheduling logic. Important architectural insights for the exam. AWS Batch is built on top of Amazon ECS. Every batch job runs on a container on ECS compute. Batch adds the scheduling layer, the queue management, and the compute lifecycle management on top of ECS. Your batch job needs to be packaged as a Docker container, pulled from ECR, and execute as an ECS task under the hood. Batch handles all of that for you. In short, your batch jobs are nothing but Docker containers with commands to execute. Now let's review when AWS Batch is the right answer. First, financial risk modeling, then genomic and drug discovery, media rendering, large-scale ETL or data processing workloads, machine learning hyperparameter tuning, or image and video processing at scale. Here the pattern is always same. Many independent units of work that can run in parallel. where the total volume is too large for any single instance and variable enough that running persistent compute would be wasteful. Three core components you must understand for AWS Batch. First, you define a job definition that says what container to run and what resources it needs. As part of job definition, we define the container image from ECR, the command to execute inside the container, the CPU and memory requirement, how many times retry on failure. It also specifies the IAM role the running job assumes. You submit jobs to a job queue. This is the holding area where submitted jobs wait. Jobs have priorities. A higher number means a higher priority. A single compute environment can serve multiple queues and it will always schedule higher priority job first. Job can have dependencies. Maybe job 5 won't start until job 3 and job 4 will compute. The compute environment picks up the job from the queue and runs them. You can configure either a managed compute environment or an unmanaged compute environment from the AWS Batch. Now let's review this compute environment and we will start with managed node. You set a minimum of 0 CPUs. The fleet scales completely to 0 when no jobs are queued. You set a maximum vCPU count as a ceiling. You configure the desired size, instance type, purchase option and subnet where you want to place the job. AWS Batch automatically provisions EC2 instances, scales up when jobs are queued, terminates them when the queue empties, handles spot interruption, maybe retry logic, patches the underlying instances, no operational overhead, and you never pay for ideal compute. That is the beauty of managed compute environment of AWS job. On the other hand, unmanaged compute environments put you in charge of provisioning. You create your own autoscaling group, install the ECS agent, and Batch only handles scheduling. You should only choose unmanaged when you have very specific AMI requirement or maybe requirement of a custom GPU configuration or a specific or custom hardware requirement because you have much higher operational overhead. Next up, 3 job types and each solves different parallelism problem. 3 AWS job types are single, array and multi-node parallel. Now let's start with a single job. When you have one submission, one container, one result, this is the baseline of single job. You use it for one-off task or as steps in a larger pipeline. A very common pattern is AWS Lambda function, which will be triggered by an Amazon S3 event, which will submit a single batch job to process the incoming file. Next is array jobs, and this is the most important job type for the exam. One submission creates n number of identical child jobs that all run in parallel. The key mechanism is that AWS Batch Job Array Index, which is an environment variable. Each child job gets an unique index from 0 to n-1. Going back to our pharmaceutical example, instead of writing a loop to submit 500,000 individual jobs, you submit one array job with size 500,000 and Batch creates all 500,000 child jobs and schedule them across your compute fleet. Child 0 process item 0, child 1 process item 1 and so on. Each child job reads its index, processes its specific compound and saves result back to Amazon S3. The pattern works for any scenario where you need to process n items independently in parallel, maybe files, records, simulations or rendering. One submission in parallel execution. You should remember this terminology. One submission in parallel execution. The job mode is array job. Next is multi-node parallel jobs. These are for a fundamentally different pattern, ideal for HPC workload, where one job needs to run across multiple EC2 instances simultaneously with direct inter-node communication. Examples are climate modeling, computational fluid dynamics or distributed deep learning training. Here is a diagrammatic representation of HPC workload. Here we have taken the example of climate modeling simulation. The nodes uses MPI or message passing interface to coordinate and share state directly between them. The main node coordinates and the child nodes will process subdomain of the problem you have submitted as part of the job. This is not the same as array jobs where children nodes never talk to each other. Array jobs are embarrassingly parallel with no communication. Multi-node parallel is tightly coupled, constant communication between nodes. Job dependencies let you sequence batch jobs into workflows. Now let's review the use cases where you should use multi-node parallel. First, HPC simulation could be climate modeling, fluid dynamics, we have discussed this. Distributed deep learning training across multiple GPU nodes or large-scale molecular dynamic simulations. Now let's talk about cost optimization and let's review how AWS Spot Instance is a Romeo-Juliet match for AWS batch integration. Spot instances offer up to 90% savings over on-demand pricing. However, there is a risk of AWS reclaiming the spot capacity within a 2-minute notice. For web servers and databases, this is a serious problem because any interruption means customer-facing downtime or data loss. Batch workloads have 3 properties that make them perfect for Spot. To start with, they are not user-facing. That means no customer is waiting for a real-time response. They can be retried if a job is interrupted. You just run it again on a different instance. And the third, they are finite. Each job runs for a defined period and then terminates. Spot interruptions are less likely to affect a 3-minute job than a server running indefinitely. Now let's review what happens when a Spot instance is reclaimed, and here is an example with timestamp. Maybe at time 0 or t equal to 0, your batch job started on Spot instances. At the 47th minute mark, maybe at t equal to 47, AWS sends 2-minute Spot interruption notice. Then at the 49th minute mark, that means t equal to 49, the Spot instance will be terminated. When a Spot instance running the batch job is reclaimed, batch detects the interruption signal, makes the job as failed with reason Spot interruption. Then it will check the retry configuration in job definition and automatically requeue the job. The retry job will be picked up on the next available schedule or on the next available instance. If you have checkpointing implemented, then the job will be resumed where it was interrupted. Now from a result perspective, the job completed, it just may have run into 2 different instances. Your application code never needs to handle this type of interruption or retries explicitly. For any enterprise workload or for most of the production batch workload, it runs on 80% on Spot and 20% on on-demand EC2 instances as a safety net. Now let's compare AWS Batch with AWS Lambda and ECS side by side. We'll start with the use cases. AWS Batch is best for when you have large-scale parallel jobs. AWS Lambda is for any short event-driven function, and Amazon ECS when you have long-running or continuously running process. Your workload can run with AWS Batch and with Amazon ECS for unlimited time, but when it comes to AWS Lambda, the process must be completed before 15 minutes because AWS Lambda has an execution cap of 15 minutes. AWS Batch is job-based queue-driven. AWS Lambda is event trigger and stateless. However, Amazon ECS supports when you have any microservices that runs persistently and it supports horizontal scaling. In terms of running infrastructure, AWS Batch can be run on managed EC2 or in Fargate. AWS Lambda is serverless, you don't have to manage any infrastructure, and Amazon ECS can run either on EC2 instances or Fargate. If you want to scale it to 0, you can do with AWS Batch. AWS Lambda also supports that. Whenever you have the execution, Lambda will be executed. If you do not have any invocation, there will be no Lambda function running. However, with ECS, you need to have a minimum number of containers running or your application will be totally out. If you configure the minimum container size is 0, then you need to think for warm-up time period because it will take some time to launch its first container. In terms of Spot support, AWS Batch has native support and you have auto retry. For AWS Lambda, you are not running on any EC2 instances. That is why it's not applicable. And for Amazon ECS, it has minimal support. However, you have to plan for that. Job queuing is AWS Batch's native capability. For AWS Lambda and Amazon ECS, you need to configure SQS queue and you have to manually configure this job queuing. Coming to parallel job execution, AWS Batch supports natively. However, AWS Lambda, you need SQS. Parallel job is not the built-in use case for Amazon ECS. Last but not least, the cost model. With AWS Batch, you pay per vCPU second. AWS Lambda charges with execution duration, and with Amazon ECS, you pay per task hour. Before we conclude this module, let's review one exam style question. This is a question for you to try at your own pace. Please read the question and find out the correct option from the given 4 answer choices. Please provide your answer as a comment to this video. You can optionally add supporting clarifications for your chosen option. We read all the comments. The CloudExpert Solutions team will confirm your understanding or will support you with additional clarifications if you need to. If you are facing any challenge to identify the correct option, please review the module one more time. You can pause the video here and take time to solve the question. If you are reviewing this slide, that means you have solved the question from the previous slide and posted your answer. Now let's close the module strong with some exam tips. AWS Batch and Spot Instance are the canonical cost optimization pattern for any batch workload in the exam. If the question describes a batch processing use case with a cost constraint, the answer is AWS Batch with a managed compute environment using Spot instances. Please remember, Spot capacity optimized is the recommended allocation strategy. It minimizes interruption by selecting Spot pool with the deepest available capacity. AWS Batch automatically retries any job interruption or if you have any Spot reclaim. This retry count will make the Spot interruption transparent to the overall job workflow. Array jobs are the most exam tested batch feature. The key word here, process n independent items in parallel with one submission. That means if you have any question with scenarios, process 10,000 files or run 50,000 simulations, then the answer would be one array job with size equal to n. Multi-node parallels are for HPC use cases. They are tightly coupled workloads which need MPI style node-to-node communication, and this is entirely different from array jobs. Array jobs are parallel, but there is no inter-job communication. You should also remember the AWS Batch anti-patterns. Batch is not for ETL. For ETL, you should use AWS Glue. This is not for any Spark or Hadoop job. Then you should use EMR. This is not for any persistent service where you can use ECS. And this is not for any short event-driven function. For any short-term event-driven use cases, you should use AWS Lambda. If you know these boundaries, then you will be able to eliminate every wrong answer options in the AWS certification. That wraps up this module. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more AWS exam preparation courses and cloud certification bootcamps. Got questions or feedback for us? Drop them as comment to this video. We love to hear from you. Thanks for learning with us at CloudExpert Solutions. Together we can make cloud learning accessible to everyone. You are now one step closer to crushing your exam. See you in the next module.